Hey guys, and welcome to what promises to be a pretty wild affair as Cool Umbrella of Clan BBB goes toe-to-toe in a battle of the Dark Gods up against Krablin of VM. Should be an absolute crazy game with these two players involved and two rather aggressive factions. We're actually going to press the pause button here to break down the armies, normally go into slow-mo, but it seems like this battle is going to get underway rather quickly, both players taking the aggressive approach. Now this was from a tournament apparently, and was from one of the semi-finals, which unfortunately couldn't be cast because the other semi-final instead was getting cast, so I got sent this, and I'm more than happy to oblige and showcase the glorious force of the Beastmen and Chaos. So for Cool Umbrella, we do have Centaurs with great weapons. I've spoken many a time about Centaurs and why I think they are the best unit. Not quite hands down, I think Razorgors are also very good, but are the best unit in the Beastmen roster, and it looks like the Beastmen player agrees, because he's basically gone full cav here in his main battle line. A mixture of Centaurs with great weapons, and Centaurs with throw-in axes, who are pivotal for the Beastmen forces at the moment in taking down large enemies. We do have Malagor, the Dark Omen, the poor little boy just screaming at the enemy at the start of the battle. He is considered a little bit of a meme, but he's such a cool thematic character. I really do hope they bring in Fly for him, so he has the ability to kind of take off and fly and land and so forth in the game at some point. He has Traitor King, he has Brave Scream, and he is angry and ready for a good old fat scrap. We do indeed have some infantry, but it is looking to do a flank overload on this left-hand side, using the advantage of the trees to give a bit of cover. We have Gore Herds dotted all the way around, as well as some Ungore Spur Herds for a little bit of that cheeky support. Two Chaos Warhounds do remain hidden in the back lines. So for the Warriors of Chaos, what do we have? Well, we have Chaos Warhounds with Poison escorting an order Horsemasters, a deadly combo. Horsemasters are actually pretty solid in combat, so buffed up by the Chaos Warhounds, so to be poison the enemy, they can work as a really lovely little synergy. It looks like we have the same situation on the far flank. Two Chaos Warhounds with poison protecting two units of the Horsemasters. In the main battle line, we have Chaos Warriors with great weapons, as well as triple gold chevron chosen. What is this? Triple gold chevron chosen. We have the Demon Spew, a second unit of triple gold chosen. More Chaos Warriors with great weapons dotted along the line, so a very small elite force. And as well as the Everwatcher, the Mighty Duck himself, leading the Demon Spew. Certainly expecting him to come in with Searing Doom, Plague of Rust, and Final Transmutation. It looks like we get all of them, but also Transmutation of Lead, which is a pretty interesting spell that we don't get to see terribly often. So it looks like the main idea is to try to get all of Beastmen forces to bunch up on this infantry core and then harass them from the wings to take down the large creatures with the Marauder Horsemasters. But the Beastmen are going to have no intention of doing this whatsoever, because of course they are a fast-moving hit-and-run style faction at the moment. The Chaos Great Weapons do manage to countercharge the Centaurs to some pretty good effect, though they are taking a decent amount of damage now. Warhounds do bound in, looking to slow down and neuter the effectiveness of the Centaurs. Those poor little Warhounds took the charge for the Chaos Warriors, which is a really good sacrifice. Not a good day for them though, as they do start to waver quite badly, and all along the line Centaurs are reaving rampant now, charging into Chaos Warhounds and trying to overwhelm the enemy as quickly as possible. Centaurs do manage to catch the Demon Spew, but going to get countercharged by the Horsemasters, and this is what I'm talking about. These guys have pretty decent stats for skirmish cavalry. Get a big surround on the Centaurs, doing some lovely damage, though the thrown axes are now raining fire down upon the Demon Spew, looking to pick them apart at range. A load of Centaurs do break here in the centre. Looks like those Grey Weapons are having a whale of a time alongside the Everwatcher, who's also bringing the pain to those Centaurs with Grey Weapons. Good micro here, though, by the Beastmen, getting at those Warhounds on top of the enemy skirmishers. But again, they are going to be getting beat back, and they are kind of struggling quite badly, just getting overwhelmed, and now the infantry has emerged from the shadowy depths of the forest to engage with the enemy, and they are very much needed, because it looks like for the most part the Beastmen cavalry have just been slaughtered. Centaurs being beat down by Warhounds, not a good day for them whatsoever. A lovely fat Traitor King does go down on double Horsemasters, and we have a load of Centaurs once again returning to the field. Looks like they've done some decent cycle charging on the Demon Spew so far, and this unit of Chaos Warriors who performed so good in the early stages is now suffering under the might of the Centaur thrown axes. Malagor Dark Omen is standing quite close to the action, but not really wanting to commit to a fight here, realising that his Gore Herds again put to the axe, just slaughtered by the Chosen, who take no casualties and inflict horrendous losses onto the Gore Herds there. We do get a lovely little Brave Scream go down on those Chaos Warriors, though Malagor is now having to run for his life away from the Chosen, and it looks like the Horsemasters might come over here in an attempt to pin him in, although some overcast Traitor Kings or Brave Screams may be able to get him out of the messy situation. Centaurs do a lovely rear charge onto the Chaos Warriors, looking to surround them between an angry group of Gore Herds, as well as those pesky Centaurs, who have great weapons on charge, can do some lovely AP. And it looks like it has been relatively successful here, as Malagor the Dark Omen also jumps into hand-to-hand combat. Gore Herds, though, are suffering amongst the tyranny of the Chosen, as to be expected. A lot of the Centaurs have returned. I think they engaged slightly early. Should have let the infantry connect first, and then come in with all the Centaurs. But despite this, they've got up some pretty decent work now. Charging onto the Horse Masters, going to be dragging those guys down, throwing axes, cobing some long-range shots into the Everwatcher, who has a bucket ton of missile resistance, though. So it's a rather long game to try and drag him down. On this flank, Chaos Warriors weapons have been beaten back, and it looks like we're going to get another fat Overcast Traitor Kin coming down. The biggest problem I have with Malagor is that he often, he has a good chance of, when he overcasts, to miscast, and he is very squishy anyway, so all that extra damage is just really quite nasty, and I think spells like Vile Tide and Brave Scream work really well overcast. And he's now been hit by a Final Transmutation, and a gigantic, scary demon comes in here. And look at Malagor's little wings compared to the might of the Everwatcher, trying to prove to him who is the one true Dark Master. Malagor getting absolutely annihilated here as the Chosen clean up his bodyguards. Centaurs of Thrown Axes are relatively healthy, though, getting in here with some decent work. Chosen have raised their mighty shields, but there is no one here to support Malagor, who is terrified, and I do not blame him. Imagine being Malagor and living as Malagor for a day. I would be terrified constantly that anything's going to come and kill me, and it looks like the Everwatcher is going to see to that. Balance Power swoops heavily against the Beastmen, but as we saw from a replay, I think earlier this week, or kind of late last week, Beastmen, with effective cycle charging, can do rather good in the late game, particularly with the amount of thrown axes they still have left. But there's 54 Chosen here and 53 Chosen there. Oh, this is looking pretty rough for the force of the Beastmen, but they continue to stand and fight. Ungor Spearheads do drive towards the Demon Spew, and Comte's Curse hits once again. Just like I say, they stand and fight, they run for their lives. Flee, you cowards. Well played to both these players, a valiant defeat. A lot of damage was dealt to the forces of Chaos, who came in with a really fun build. Triple gold Chosen, relatively healthy in the late game as well. I don't think they're going to have got the craziest damage stats or anything like that across the board, because they still had so much more left to give in the end game. I'd quite like to see as well how they perform up against the best scores in hand-to-hand combat. But well played to call Umbrella nonetheless. Malagor the Dark Omen is a tricky beast to use, and unfortunately he did get slaughtered today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll get to the damage dealt and damage value in just a second. But if you want to submit replays to me, there are links down below. One of them is to my Discord, and there you can submit replays, get involved in the tournament scene, and chill out with a load of cool people. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Thumbs up, comments, all that good stuff really helps support the channel, and I've been loving the comments we've been getting recently. I'm considering picking my favourite comment kind of from the video the day before, and then uploading that comment onto the video. So like at this point of the end screen, you would see my favourite comment from the last video, and so on and so on. Let me know if you'd like to see that down below. There's also links in the description to my Patreon, where you can support the channel, as well as to a Games Planet account I have. If you buy games through there, a little bit of money does come back to the channel, and you get some big fat juicy discounts on games like Total War Warhammer, and there's a load of Warhammer games in general currently on sale at the moment, and I think you've got till Thursday till that sale does indeed wear off. But anyway guys, what did you think of the battle? Pretty crazy stuff. I really like Call Umbrella's build, and it looks like this was a semi-final game of a tournament. It was pretty wild. I think the problem for Call Umbrella was committing a lot of his tentacles early. If you have a little look across the board, none of them performed particularly well, apart from one unit, which is a little bit disastrous. And the great weapons, a mixed bag. 2 faltering really badly, and the other one, 1,200 damage value, doing absolutely fantastic work. Tentacles of Thrown Axes, amazing damage value, 800, 1,200, only 476 on that last one. And the Warhounds not quite having enough bite in their fangs to take down the large, scary Warhorses the Warriors of Chaos did bring to the table. As for the infantry, it was just a little bit late engagement, so I think the infantry, I like the idea of the flank kind of coming out from the trees, but up against Warriors of Chaos, you don't need to really get into the back line, because they don't have a back line 9 times out of 10, unless they brought a Hell Cannon. So bringing these guys in the front, taking the charge from the Chaos Warriors, and then slamming from the flanks, or even through their own troops on the front, with the Centaurs, would have paid off a little bit more, but nonetheless, a very cool build by Cool Umbrella. Krablin, he's been around for a long time. Top tier player, top tier lad as well. Amazing build, really fun stuff. I love this. The Chosen, 1,300 damage value is pretty damn good. 679 on the other one. These guys are going to be very expensive though with those triple chevrons popped on top of them, but they were very healthy in the late game and could have carried quite nicely. Likewise, the Chaos Warriors Grey Weapons, so good up against cavalry at the moment, and came out of 961 damage value and 664, but they were eventually put down. Likewise, the Horsemasters did a solid job across the board, 600, 784, and 893 damage value, but were eventually cut down. Likewise, similar happened to the Chaos Warhounds. Luckily, the Everwatcher was pretty juicy and healthy in the late game, alongside those Chosen, getting 1,484 damage value. Demon Spew doing okay, 895 damage value is not too shabby, but they kind of get put in their place in the later stages of that game. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, peace, peace, and as always, stay awesome.